Hey everyone, Josh Merhar here, and today I'm going to break down this awesome Garstka concept that forces you to flex your dynamics, coordination, timing, and overall control. A few years back, working through all of these combinations made me much more confident in tackling really challenging material, and it inspired all kinds of cool grooves and ideas. I first saw this concept in a video of Garstka's Berkeley Senior Recital from 2011, I think, and it was a sort of Q&A format. And he ran through this gnarly demonstration, and it turned my little brain into a pretzel, and I was like, I gotta learn how to do that. So I did. If I could find that original video, I'll post a link to it in the description of this video. And in fact, the oldest video on my YouTube channel right now is of me running through some of these patterns in my parents' basement, and Matt actually saw it and commented on it, and he told me I did a good job, and it made me feel good inside. So we'll have a pattern of 7/16 notes between the kick and snare. It'll be kick, snare, snare, kick, snare, snare, snare. Accent the first snare stroke immediately after each kick, and then keep all the others as ghost notes. Playing this pattern will beef up your left hand so much it's not even funny. Let's check it out. To get a big separation in dynamics, I'm playing the accents as rim shots, and I'm trying to keep the stick super close to the snare for those ghost notes, so I could get a wide dynamic range with relatively small motions. I kind of just let my wrist go limp after the accented stroke to keep my hand low for the ghost notes that follow. Since I'm playing the accents as rim shots, the stick doesn't bounce up too high after the stroke, and that just makes it easier to keep my hand where it needs to be to play those ghost notes. Next, we'll place a few different cymbal patterns on top. We'll start with eighth notes on the ride, so it'll take 2 times through that 7 pattern on the kick and snare to line up with the ride cymbal again. Go as slowly as you need to start out. Next, drop the cymbal down to quarter notes. Now it'll take 4 times through the 7 pattern on the kick and snare to line up with the ride again. So everything resolves in 7 quarter notes, or 7 beats. The second time through the 7 pattern on the kick and snare begins on the of beat 2, the third time through begins on the and of beat 4, and the final time through begins on the e of beat 6. So that 7 pattern on the kick and snare kind of phases through each 16th note. Altogether, it sounds like this. We could also use a galloping pattern on the ride cymbal, so let's play an 8th and 2/16 notes on top of the 7 pattern. It'll still take 4 times through the 7 pattern on the kick and snare to align with the ride cymbal again, but the ride pattern seemingly flips halfway through, so instead of feeling like ding, da-da-ding, 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 it starts feeling like da-da-ding, 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 da-da-ding. Let's mess this up a bit. Now we'll play a dotted 8th note on top of this 7 pattern. So I'll play the ride every 3 16th notes. Now it only takes 3 times through the 7 pattern to align with the ride cymbal again. This one especially takes some getting used to, so start real slow before pushing the speed. The last cymbal pattern that Matt demonstrated in that video is a sort of inverted shuffle pattern. It feels like playing the first 2 triplet partials of a beat. So it still has that dotted 8th feel. and it still resolves after 3 times through the 7 pattern. I think he said it's some type of Moroccan rhythm. I'm not sure if it has a name, but it's a cool pattern, and it sounds like this. Once you get all those patterns down, you gotta do something with your hi-hat foot. Now we don't need to go crazy here, but let's try playing eighth notes and quarter notes on our hi-hat foot underneath all of these different cymbal patterns. I'll play straight through all of these ride patterns on top of an eighth note in the hi-hat foot, and then I'll play straight through all of them again on top of like a quarter note splash on my hi-hat foot. I'll mark beat 1 with a crash every time I switch to a new cymbal pattern. If you're up for an extra challenge, try playing a pattern of 5 on the ride cymbal. As an example, I'll play a cymbal pattern that's like the 1, 3, and 4 of a 5-beat grouping, so it has a quintuplet feel. I'll try it on top of eighth notes on my hi-hat foot. All 3 patterns will align only once every 10 times through the 7 pattern on the kick and snare. Working through all these different combinations will free up your limbs, they'll train your ear to hear odd groupings and different subdivisions, and they'll help you develop more controlled accents and ghost notes. If you like what you saw in this video, check out my Patreon page. Your support grants you access to transcriptions for this video, as well as transcriptions for all my other lesson videos, and follow me on Instagram @drummerhar to see more videos of my playing. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.